Hey ho, howdy ho, amigos. What's going on, buddies?
Hey,
Welcome,
hey, hey.
welcome back, man. I'm excited for today. Specifically, like I woke up after only 3 hours of sleep, just excited to be able to chat with you guys and kind of share some cool wins that I've had, over the last week or two. You guys are kind of aware of, anyways. What's going on in New York? What's going on in California, Nate? How are you guys?
Well, I'm doing fucking great. Today's a great day. I mean, sun's shining, weather's beautiful. It's a little fucking warm, but just every day, just beautiful out here in California. It's only good news about fucking California, of course, is the weather. But yeah, things are good. Lots of wins. Every day is great, man. We're blessed to be alive, right? Every day. It's awesome to be us.
Living in paradise. Oh, hot, humid, and muggy over here.
We have we're talking about weather, like it goes down to 59, then some days it's 95. So we never know what we're getting up here in upstate New York. It's literally sweating 95 degrees the one day installing last week. And the very next day, it was like the high of 61. Like, how do you even prepare when you have no idea what's going to happen?
Sounds nice. So I want to talk about a couple things with you guys here. And I want to ask the audience too. I've got kind of a cool win and a big job, right, that we landed. But I'd like to know if anyone in the audience wants us to dive a little deeper on how we got those. It's kind of a unicorn deal. I think they're more accessible, but maybe most folks aren't even interested or they're not at that level and they don't want to hear about it. So add your comments below if you say, Shane, I want you to go deeper on that, and we'll make a topic over it. I know Matt and I, right? There's a lot of Christmas stuff going on. We're getting deposits in Christmas in July. It's now August. Nate doesn't care about Christmas. We got a lot of landscape lighting jobs going on. In August, I'd say we're actually pretty busy now for what is normally kind of a slow period of time for us.
Awesome. Hell yeah.
Oh,
go ahead.
No. Finish what you're going to say.
I was going to say you're mentioning these wins and asking guys to comment below if they want to hear more about it, but about what? Like, we don't even know what job you're talking about. Yeah, I want more information on it.
What's coming? I'm building the anticipation.
I want this, man. I want. Will you teach me?
2 minutes. So.
Okay, just because you've asked for it, I'm going to give it to you. All right, there it is. I don't have to say it anymore. I'm just going to hold up the fucking sign.
All right, we'll go Nate Scrooge. Right, we're only going to talk about Christmas for the next 90 to 120 days.
Oh my fucking god! You guys are going to drive me fucking insane.
Probably a little bit, but
I want to talk about ponds. I want to talk about waterfalls. Have you guys ever done a waterfall? It's really fucking cool. You want to develop your own sanctuary, or you want to develop your own sanctuary? We got to have waterfall. It's very soothing.
This
huh?
Subject. It's said Nate's trying really hard just to derail the Christmas conversation.
Well, because I'm a lighting guy, and I don't want to. It's waterfalls. I want to talk about waterfalls. There's got to be guys out there that do waterfalls.
One time I did a bunch of brand traps around a waterfall for Christmas.
There you go.
See? There you go.
Nate, if I was to tie, Christmas and the listeners to landscape lights, for us at least, Christmas lights can sometimes just be low-hanging fruit, right? There's a wider net that we can cast, and we treat now, like every Christmas job, as a potential sales job for a landscape light client. It's we got the client, we're building the relationship. Clients who spend $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000+ on Christmas lights are very good candidates for landscape lights, and we end up converting a lot of those. So it's kind of a way we tie that in.
No, I understand. True story. Light. Yeah, true story.
So today I want to kind of get into passion. I want to talk more about our advanced training, but just to kind of share my win. I've probably put 100 hours into this job. And sometimes when you get these big jobs, you just want to be the most prepared person in the room. I learned that from Nate. But we presented last night, like at 8 p.m., to the city of Dallas, a little suburb outside of Dallas. And we're pitching this one-of-a-kind project We're doing 15,000 feet of bistro lights over Main Street, cross pattern, building the post, working the electrical. There's a lot to this proposal. And we pitched the mayor and city hall and great folks over there. And we got it. We got a yes. This is a multi 6-figure project that we're going to start here in August. That was part of my deal. That has to be done in August and September. We are not available in October for a project of this scale.
Yeah, that's awesome. I can't even imagine 15,000 feet of bistros. I hate bistros with a passion.
I'll say I'll say a funny story, right? And then we'll kind of get into passion. And I don't know if this is funny or sad. To me, I'm gonna spin it as funny, right? The residents of this town were so mad about this brick wall that was dilapidated, and the city voted not to fix it. And I can see both sides of the story, right? They're like, hey, it's an HOA issue. They're like, well, hey, we don't have an HOA. We're a neighborhood without an HOA. And the city's like, well, that's not our, we can't allocate the funds to this wall that's not ours, but it's facing a main road. Yes, I know, we're sorry, but we can't do that. So they're like presenting their case to the city, and some of these guys are getting really like riled up. Like this is almost like a town hall meeting, right? Like everyone's like semicircle, and you're at a podium and you're explaining your case, and all this was right before we were going up. So if you can imagine people pissed off that the city is not fixing this wall. Like they're pointing fingers, they're mad, they're storming off, they're stomping their feet. Like this is really awkward. And then they see on the docket, oh, but they're going to vote on this multi 6-figure project for bistro lighting. And they mentioned that. And they waited in the benches as I'm presenting, like laser eyes in the back of my head, like, look at this guy pitching these bistro lights. We don't want bistro lights. We want our damn wall fixed. And they ended up approving it. But it was just really awkward following that. And I've never experienced anything like that. I've never experienced anything in a pitch scenario like that. I just kind of thought we were going to be at a conference table. I was going to shake some hands, do the Dr. Pony show. It was not that. Luckily, I was
like you were scared you were driving your Glow Geek Cybertruck, right? Walking out, thinking you're getting jumped.
I did. Gavin was with me, and I handed him my phone, because we get cameras all along the Cybertruck. I was like, watch to see if any of these guys try keying it on the way out. They didn't. But the thought crossed my mind.
It is pretty overwhelming. I remember the first time I did a legit seminar at a convention center, and before doing hundreds of seminars in the back of, say, distributorships like a Site One, where they set up fucking tables and chairs, and then podium. Everybody's got stadium seating surrounding you, and it's like, holy fuck, this is a game changer here, right?
It's on the local TV channel. You just like having your mind everyone's watching, but no one is. It was I wasn't prepared for that. They didn't tell me that going in, but luckily I spent 100 hours preparing for every question. How are these poles going to be? What kind of cable are you going to use? What is the thickness? How are you going to do the plate? How are you going to weld it? So we were really overly prepared, and I think that's kind of one of the things I wanted to roll in today. I've always just kind of heard Nate say this, right? I've learned it. If you want to be at the top of your game in any field you choose, you have to have passion for what you do. I think us three undoubtedly, we have passion for lighting. I will talk to anybody about lighting, who wants to talk and hear about it. I love talking about lighting. I love doing it. And I don't think if you don't have that passion, Nate, would you say, fair to say, you will never be top of your game, known in the industry if you don't have that? Then my question, well, how do you get that passion? How do you make someone get passion?
So I'm going to address that in a second, but I want to go backward for a second, Shane, because I want to make sure everybody understands what you said a minute ago. You spent 100 hours, and I know that's a true statement, guys out there in the, what do you call it, the listening world. Because I know I probably spent, Shane, how many days? Probably 7, 8 hours probably on the phone with you over the last 2 or 3 weeks, several different times,
Oh yeah.
discussing strategy and how you should prepare. So I know I spent quite a bit of time with you. So when you say 100 hours, I 100% believe that it's not an exaggeration. Um, so when you think about that, he spends 100 hours to sit there and secure a multi six figure contract. And I know in many of my times in talking with Shane, I said, you gotta, because you don't know who your competition is. Shane goes into it thinking that he thinks and for whatever reason, right or wrong, indifferent, he thinks that they're not really getting another bid, or somehow we came up to the top level and he's going to get the job. Well, he thinks that. Well, he doesn't know that, to be sure. And I'm like, Shane, you got to have the best presentation. You got to make sure that you answer all this stuff. You got to blow them away. You got to make sure that if somebody follows you on the presentation, that they would actually literally walk out of the building because they could never equal your fucking badass presentation. You don't know what you don't know. So Shane spends 100 hours and he does the most badass presentation I've ever seen in my life. Unfucking believable. Of course they're going to sign a contract with him, but he spends 100 hours to secure the job. When I was an electrical contractor, I would spend, never did I spend 100 hours, but I could certainly spend 10 hours bidding a job. And do I get it? Do I not get it? What's your close ratio? And the only reason I bring this up, because it's going to get right back into passion, is one of the biggest things that I see the mistakes of guys that don't have the passion. They're too lazy to do a demo. They're too lazy to do a 2 or 3 hour demo to secure a 20, 30, $40,000 lighting job because they're lazy, and that's just the only word, and they don't have passion. Are you fucking nuts to take 2 or 3 hours to secure a 20, 30, $40,000 lighting job? You don't have the time to do that. You're lazy and you don't have passion. Well, matter of fact, if you don't even want to spend 2 hours to secure 20,000 lighting job, you should never listen to this podcast because that's insanely stupid. So, right, there is a minimum amount of time that takes to secure a job, whether you're a roofer, right? A permanent lighting guy, a crispment lighting guy, a lighting guy, a concrete guy, a general contractor. You have to spend jobs, right, to secure a job. Anyway,
So
goes right back into passion.
I'll say too, it not only is the passion, but it's the willingness to learn. It's the willingness to admit you don't know everything, right? Like Shane had no problem calling to ask Nate for, hey, look this project over me. Shane talked to me about it. I'm sure Shane talked to other people about it. So when you get into, there's been plenty of guys I talk to that do these jobs and they show it to me after the fact because they didn't want to ask it. Well, it was an easy job. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, it doesn't look like it because it's not even done correctly. So the willingness to learn and just be fine with not knowing all the answers in your industry, but be willing to learn it, have the passion to know it for the next time. A guy like Shane could just do it, right? He could say, "No, I'm Glow Daddy. I own Glow Geeks. I don't need Nate's help. I don't need Matt's help. I don't need XYZ's help." But he did it because he's smart enough to know, hey, the more I bring in here, the more I learn, the better prepared I'll be in this presentation, and close multiple six figures off of it.
I'll take that. We say we're, the dipshit millionaire is kind of a unofficial tagline used like I am. And I would use that kind of as a plug. Like if you're not networked into people that are smarter than you and have done jobs like this, it makes doing something like this more difficult. And I'll use that as a plug. If you're not in the Illuminati Lounge, having access to Nate to think out of the box and get ideas to present made me look extremely smart. To call up Matt, hey Matt, have you ever done a project like this for the city? And Matt showed me his presentation and the bridge that they did in pictures that I can use that as credibility. Like all those were pretty instrumental in help closing this. And there's probably half a dozen other people that I called to, construction guys, people that have installed these posts, other people that have installed these bistros. Shout out to Brett and Connor and Jimmy for all the help that they put in. This was not, all me. It was a collective amount of information. And then to go back to also what you said, Nate, I did not have time for this presentation. I put 100 hours into 80 hours into doing this quote and doing everything. But then they told me Friday, hey, you're going to have a presentation when you come, right? Like this is on my birthday weekend too. What do you mean? Am I going to be presenting? Do I need to have a slideshow prepared? And they're like, well, yeah. Oh, I thought I was just going. You guys were going to ask questions. You're going to shake hands. So I stayed up, all Sunday night for 6 hours preparing this, and then all Monday making sure I got it right. And then we didn't just prepare that. We went and printed it at 8 p.m. and put it in binders so I can hand to each one, which in hindsight was probably overkill, but it still made us look really prepared, really professional, and we got the W. So appreciate y'all's help on that.
It's awesome.
Well, hey, Shane, it wasn't an overkill. It was part of the process.
It
was part of the process. You don't know if it was an overkill. You speculate that. It wasn't an overkill. It was part of the process that made you a winner, right? Made you a winner. So we're going to get back to passion in a minute, but I want to just some of these things, Shane, I think you and Matt, you guys say are so smart, but I don't think that the audience maybe, and I don't think that I'm dwelling on it, but I think it's so inherently important, right? Besides passion, because you can have all the passion in the world, which we're going to get into that, because I think that's probably the number one key ingredient. But you got to have a team, right? Nobody's smarter than everybody, right? Nobody's smarter than here. We have a team, right? Us three always get together and we call it, I call it shitty chit chats, right? And every time we have a stupid chat, we can banter back and forth. We can make fun of each other, but only good shit happens when we have these chit chats, right? And we all learn from each other. So nobody's smarter than everybody. I know that when I was young, I knew I was going to be an electrical contractor when I was 14. So I surrounded myself with, I wanted to be the dumbest fucking person in that room. I only wanted to hang around with smarter people than me. And I see that over and over again where people, their fucking egos and their fucking attitudes, they want to fucking interject and they want to be the voice in the room and they want to give their fucking opinion out. Man, I don't. I want to go surround myself with smarter people than me so I can learn from them. And I think that's an ability that you have to have, right? The ability to learn, which I think that's going to get involved around passion. So, but yeah, you got to have the team. But yeah, so passion. You guys want to lead into that? You want to start talking about passion and what you guys think about what passion is?
Well, the thought that came to my mind is, and I've done this before, you almost look at a job so overwhelming and you just don't want to do it. Because what if, Nate, what if I spent 100 hours on this and I didn't get it and I wasted all that time, and time is money? What if, right? How do I come up with this extra 100 hours? I don't have that in my time. I'm a busy person. I think the answer is passion, right? You got to wake up a little early. You gotta work afterwards. You got to turn your phone off. You got to work on Sunday night.
Well, I think you got to do two things. I think that you're in the business to secure jobs. So I think when you said it right there, what if I did not get that job and I spent 100 hours, which would be devastating? How do I make time back? It's impossible. One, it's impossible. But I think the best question is, which I think everybody needs to understand, what the underlining answer to that question was, is you got to look yourself in the mirror. Why did not you get that fucking job? You spent 100 hours and your presentation was so fucking bad that you didn't get the job. It's your fault. It's nobody else's fault. So when you think about it, no, I had a great presentation. Well, did you or did you not have a great presentation? In your fucking mind, you thought you did, but obviously they didn't think you did, right? Now, so maybe you had a great presentation, but you didn't ask the right questions. What was their budget? Is it in their line item? Is it scheduled for 2025 or 2026? Is it a preconception, a conception meeting? Is it concept only? Are they just looking for a preliminary budget for 2028? Are they a real buyer today? Are the decision makers in the room? Did you not ask the right questions, right, before you wasted 100 hours? But whatever the answer is, it's your fault. So what you have to do when you have these failures and you get knocked down and you wasted 1 hour, let alone 100, you got to fucking learn from that. So that's what you have to look at. So you don't waste another 100 fucking hours.
Yeah.
So you look at it as a learning experience.
You do these enough, they get easier and quicker, right? This probably would have taken me 200 hours, it's 2 years ago. And next time it'll probably only take me 50 hours.
Well, sure. And to Nate's point, if you spent 100 hours on it and they said no, the next time you would learn to pre-qualify a hell of a lot different before you spent 100 hours.
Right. But But the answer is what you just said, Shane, man. You're going to learn from this. So the next time's 50, next time's 20. It's canned. You can manipulate the proposal because it's saved in the computer. You have all the right questions answered. You have a whole list. You send them a pre-qualifying list to the city. I need to have all these things answered so I get my scope of work figured out so I don't waste a lot of time, right? You learn from this, right? And then you capitalize on that learning. Right now that you're an expert when it comes to doing downtown bistro festival lighting for a city. Now you start becoming as an expertise in that field. Now you can probably reach out to other fucking cities. You become known. People start knowing you. That city, those city council people, they go to events and conventions throughout the fucking year, right? And they start saying, "Oh my God, you got to go meet Glow Daddy." Right? He was so incredible. He actually gave the best presentation we've ever fucking seen. Not only did he have a good presentation, he actually came up with a new name for our city, the Glow Show, whatever the fuck
Low
you called it.
district. That's what
Yeah,
I
the Glow
call it.
District.
Low
Yeah, he
district.
was so confident that he named our Festival of Lights the Glow Show, the Glow, whatever you just said. But you capitalize on that, right? Which is awesome.
This is a true story. I did say
The-
that. Um,
yeah. So the Glow Show takes it international. You imagine that? I mean, who knows? But anyway, so my point is, I don't mind failing. It doesn't bother me, right? Because I learn from every time I fail, right? And it allows me to be stronger and better and smarter.
so Matt, I just thought of this. Right, we're doing our advanced training. We were talking a little bit before about who we want and who we don't want. Well, I just kind of thought, well, what if we had a topic on landing these big jobs at the advanced training? That's a pretty advanced seminar topic. Maybe we
Very
carve
advanced
out
seminar
an
topic.
hour while we're there to talk about that. And I want to ask you guys because we were just talking about what kind of person are we looking for that wants to go to this advanced training, and who are we not looking for?
Before, I know Nate's going to have a very passionate, long answer that's going to hit all the topics on this. But the thing is right, we are, all three of us are coming together, right? We got together in June 2024. That was the last time we all did a training together. It was our first training all together, an actual training, advanced seminar. We didn't do one at all in 2025, and we're going to do one next year, February 2026. These take a lot of time and energy for me, for Shane, for Nate, right? Me and Shane are getting on planes, hotels. Nate's stopping his whole life to have the house, the backyard ready to go, his warehouse ready to go. I can make money staying home, right? So it's not about going out there to make money from their admission fees. Honestly, we want you to come learn a fuck ton and buy lifetime lighting, right? Like, we're not coy about it. I know some people are always wondering who others are, oh, do you get money for this? Yeah, we want you to buy lifetime lighting. Nate is our mentor. He's our sponsor. And that is our end goal. So we want guys that actually want to do lighting. They want to get out of whatever it is that they're doing, and they want to pursue it for real. Not think about it, not talk about it, not just think it's a cool concept. I want guys who want to do lighting and are ready to actually implement what they learn. I mean, that's the goal. That's who we want. Someone who's ready to go and willing to learn and leave the excuses at home.
I agree. And I agree that Nate is going to have a much more passionate response. I think I agree with 70 to 80% of everything that he says.
You're agreeing with what I'm saying before I've even said it. That's awesome.
Well, I can guess that I
Okay.
know 90%
He's
of
also protecting that 20%, so he has an easy out.
So in all fairness, I'm going to leave out the 20% that you're going to disagree with. So now I'm going to say you're going to agree with 100% about what I'm about ready to say. How do you like that shit?
All right.
How do you like that? Hey, watch this.
Hey, you're 60% right 100% of the time.
He's got an easy button.
That was easy.
That was easy. I brought the props. I brought the props. There's another one.
Perfect. Let's hear what you
So
can call.
So
No.
So I
Black
think for
flag.
me, so so I think for me, oh my God, I just thought of another fucking prop. Holy shit. Let me just draw it real quick because I think it would be a really cool prop to have. Hang on. I'm going to take a second here and draw another prop. Right.
Nate is working on his next patent, which is a prop for a one joke line that he wants to deliver.
That way, when you throw a black flag, I can do this.
All right. Nice.
Oh my God.
For those
That was
listening, Nate drew a Thanksgiving turkey.
That's right. It looked like gobble goggle. It did kind of look like the little tip of the fucking neck up there. Um, so I think for me, the topic is it's a great topic for us, and I think it's gonna hit home for some people, and some people are probably just gonna fucking hang up and shut the podcast off, right? Because I think that there's so many things that it takes to make money, right? And we're all about making money. I mean, there's no bones about that, right? Matt wants to make money. Shane wants to make money. By God, I love fucking money. I've been lucky in life. I've worked really hard, so I have a lot of things that I don't need to acquire in life anymore, right? I pretty much bought everything I need to buy, but I still want fucking money, right? Who the fuck doesn't, right? Who doesn't want to go out and drop 100 grand on a nice vacation? If you say you don't, get the fuck out of our podcast because you're not a fucking winner if you don't want to spend 100 grand one of these days and go on a vacation or watch that fucking show on TV. What is it called? Below Deck. And there's people spend 250,000 to go on a 3 or 4 day yachting thing. Who doesn't want that, right? I mean, that obviously to spend $250,000 must be like a quarter to them, right? I would like to go to that wealthy level to be able to spend that. I ain't there yet to drop $250,000 for a 4 day vacation. Boy, would I like to. So there's two things. You either got to be passionate in life to be able to get lucky enough to have the skill to do your career, or you got to be lucky and marry some really rich bitch, right? That all you got to do is sit home and be the guy, right? So anyway, so
Well,
for
why can't you
me,
marry a rich gay guy and be home and be the guy? I mean, because
Shane
that's
will Shane will Glow Daddy Shane will get that'll be his next topic, and we
okay.
can go into that. Um, but for me, we all sometimes pick careers, right? And whether you're passionate about it, you get stuck, you get out of high school, you go to college, you know what you want to do, you get into a career and you punch a clock. You don't really need it, you don't have passion. So I think to become an outdoor lighting guy to be very, very successful, right? And I think it's with anything, but for sure, outdoor lighting, you're not going to fucking college, you're not going to a trade school. I got to believe that you're coming into it. So when I sit there and I looked at and mentoring a lot of people, you know, certainly into the hundreds for sure, if not thousands, and obviously maybe mentoring only hundreds, but certainly talking to thousands of people. Passion's the number one thing. You live and believe outdoor lighting. I mean, just because you get up every day, right? Technically, you're punching a clock and you go sell a job, whether it's a 10 light, 20 light, 100 light job. Are you passionate about it? Do you live and you breathe it? Do you separate yourself? Do you take that 100-hour commitment on your birthday and stay up almost all night building a presentation so you can secure that job? That's passion, right? That's passion. You know, do you want to sit there and do you have a lighting? Do you tinker around in your lighting garage? You go out there at night and fuck around and invent stuff and different techniques. Are you passionate about it? So everybody has the desire and the will to make money, right? The desire and the will. Do you have the commitment, right? Do you do what it takes to separate yourself? So yeah, I think it takes desire. I think you really got to love what you do. I love outdoor lighting, right? I
Yeah, I
think,
would
man, I've
say
heard you say it,
Yeah.
Go ahead.
when you bring that up, it brings up something in my mind. When I did my 2-day training where guys came and we did 2 demos. They came in early. So we did a real demo for a real client the night before and then another real demo the next night. There was guys who left the demo early. They said, well, it's late. I'm done. And there's other guys who stayed and did not want to leave. And like right there is a huge separation. Not only are you traveling to come get trained by me, what else are you doing? You're going to sit in a hotel room, but you tap out on a demo where when you're out there able to learn and be around every other lighting guy, around me, there you could easily see the passion of some of the guys versus out of the 10 guys, 4 of the guys leaving early for nothing, just to go back to the hotel room. Like it was a clear cut. So if you complain about doing demos and yeah, I get there late at night, but when I get out to a demo, and I'm doing a demo or I'm doing a final walkthrough, everything fucking changes, right? The time doesn't matter anymore because I get so excited and invigorated by the lighting that I forget that it's 10, and I forget that it's 11 or 12 o'clock, and I end up going super late because I love lighting and I play around. So that is one easy test. If you think about getting lighting, if you think it's going to be as easy it is to do Christmas lighting, because Christmas lighting and getting into it and making sales is easy. But if you're not willing to be out there in the evening, not just in the wintertime when it's dark at 5, the summertime, you should not try to get into outdoor lighting. Go do power washing. Go do something else. Do not do outdoor lighting.
So what would exclude someone from this advanced training? Just kind of get back on top of this, wrap it up right in 5 minutes. Who are we not looking for to go to this specific training? We do other trainings, right, for other scenarios, but specific advanced training, all three of us, who do we not want?
So we have to wrap this up in 5 minutes. I'm just wondering, getting back to passion real quick, taking 45 seconds. How do you develop passion? Does it inherently come from what you like to do? Like you want to be happy, you want to be creative, you want to be your own boss, you want to build relationships, you want to have the sense of satisfaction of building something and creating something. That's one thing I love about lighting, and it allows me to have passion, right? It's like maybe being a cook. I think if you're going to be a cook and a chef, right, you have to have a passion to cook. If you're cooking at Denny's, it's a fucking job. If you're cooking and becoming a chef at a Michelin 5-star restaurant, right, and becoming known in that industry, it's because you have a passion for it, right? It's not about getting a paycheck. It's you have a passion about cooking. So for lighting, that's what really attracted me for the last stage of my fucking career as a lighting guy, the last 35 years, whether it's a lighting guy, manufacturer, right, doing whatever, it all wraps around lighting. It's because of all those things I just said. I can be creative. I can build relationships. I make people fucking happy. And that's a fact. Nobody is more happy than when they spend the money and write me a check because I've enriched their life when it comes to outdoor lighting because it does so many things on the visibility and usability of space. That's a fact. So there's so many things that I get rewarded in life of what I do on a day-to-day basis and I get paid for it. Yeah, the passion is there. Now, who are we looking for?
So I think no, that's not a question. That's a rhetorical question. Keep going. Sorry.
Yeah, so who are we looking for? So, this is an opportunity for people out there, right? There's only a selected number of people that are listening to this that we're going to be able to touch that really want to take the opportunity to come out and I'm going to say see the three smartest lighting guys in the world. There's nobody collectively than us three that have the wisdom, the the desireness, the documented fucking wisdom, right? The amount of jobs that we've done, the amount of mistakes we've made, right? The amount of opportunities we've put in front of ourselves to be able to learn to where we're at in our careers today. Nobody. So the opportunity for these listeners to come out, yeah, we're going to have a selection process. I don't want dipshits coming. I don't want to waste my time with somebody that thinks they're smarter than me, that somebody thinks they've been doing lighting for 10 years and they can't learn, but they want to check off a box that they came to our seminar. No, I think they're going to have to apply. We're going to have a phone conversation with them. I want them to make a tremendous amount of money, right, and be extremely successful. I want them to have the desire, the will to win, which takes a certain amount of things. You have to have demo kits. You have to be willing to go out there and submit photos. You have to be willing to go out there and not be afraid. You have to be willing to work hard, right? You have to do what it takes to become a lighting guy, to become a lighting assassin, to be part of our collective, right, association that we're trying to build. So whether we get 4 people or 40 people, which will never allow 40 people in, right? But there's going to be a limited number of people in my mind that I want to attract. I want to attract people that are like-minded, that want to be the best lighting guys in the world. And when I mean the best lighting guys in the world, I don't give a shit if you think you can install 100 lights a fucking day. Are they worthwhile? In my opinion, that I would absolutely give you an award for that job. What are your visual objectives? Does it blow my mind? Because it doesn't take a lot to blow my mind, but it takes a good thought fucking process. And if you have a good thought process, you're going to do a good lighting job, right? So it isn't the number of fixtures that you install per year. It's none of that. It's I want lighting guys.
Okay, so not for the beginner who hasn't installed a job, not for someone who is piddle paddling or this is a side hobby and they want to keep it that way, not for someone who doesn't have passion or is complacent. Um, I got all those written down.
I
I'll
think
push. Well, what
so.
about, I
Well,
mean, is it necessarily they haven't done a job? Or, I mean, if someone calls, they get a demo kit and they start going out there and doing 10, 15, 20 demos and they're just rocking and rolling, like, and getting out there and knocking on doors, I would teach that guy for sure, even if he hasn't sold one yet, because he's out
Before
there
the
putting
seminar,
in real
right?
activity.
This is not a seminar on how to make a connection.
True. Right.
This is not basics, right? We're not going to teach you how to cross concrete. These you got to know the basics, right? To go to the next level during this seminar.
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
yeah, so I agree with Matt. Just that I think that you could know nothing today. It's early enough on that when we do our phone consultation with you, right, and go through our selection process, and you have that desire and the passion and the will, and you said, yeah, I'm going to buy a demo kit today. I'm going to talk to you about virtual training. I'm going to buy your book. I'm going to study. I'm going to do 15 demos. I'm going to do all these things. Yeah, you could go through the process and absolutely come to our advanced seminar, right? Because you have to can't be basic, right? We're not gonna embarrass you, right? To be in front of the whole class that's not basic because you're a rookie. So yeah, the intention is not to bring rookies in, but we can teach you and get you graduated through high school before the seminar.
Okay. And through the process of the application process, let's say if we just feel you are not the fit or this advanced seminar is not the fit for you, we'll invite you to, one of our more beginner friendly seminars or the Illuminati Lounge where you can start to learn before you get to this level.
Yeah,
Yeah,
when we do trainings, when you do trainings, Shane, I've done trainings, Nate does trainings. All three of us come together is no joke. I know a few of the guys in our Illuminati Lounge were literally asking, as soon as you know a date, I want to know because I know I need to be there. They've already been to other trainings. They've already been to one of our trainings, but they see the value in, we all bring different things, right? We're totally different. Nate is a genius in electrical and lighting and all of this. Shane, you have this personality. I have this personality. We all mentored under Nate, but we have different styles, right? If I did a section of Nate's yard, Shane did a section, and Nate did a section, you could tell they're inspired by the same person, but they're not the same. So look at the value of, you're not just getting one of us. Like, there's just huge value between marketing, proposals, lighting design, right? Like installing, you can get taught that over the phone, right? Design and all of this other stuff that, has gotten us where we are today. And we're still, it's not even near where we want to be, right? We're all still growing and going further. Like, there's just huge value in that. I never had that opportunity. When I started the Christmas guys, there wasn't that opportunity. When I started this lighting, luckily I called Nate after buying his book and got Nate. And Nate wasn't into teaching proposals and all that, right? He was handwritten stuff, genius on lighting design. So he taught me design and it was great. But imagine he had a shortcut for proposals and marketing and all of this. It's mind melting. What we offer. It really is. And I learned from it too, because I love being around you two and I always learn something new from both of you.
So here's why I wanted to go, because Matt, you and I met at Nate's seminars. I mean, this is something that we have done. This is the process that we followed. I went because, I wanted to learn. I wanted to hear what Nate had to say, but I wanted to go to network and I wanted Nate to know my name. Right? He doesn't know my name because I made a couple orders. We had some phone conversations. He doesn't pick up the phone when I call or answer my text if he doesn't know me. Right? So I wanted to go and I wanted to keep going. So I have that relationship built. And that only happens in person. There's no other way to make that, connection. So that was my purpose.
I could tell.
Me and Matt talked about it.
He doesn't even like lighting. He just wants to talk.
Matt's phone call.
Who's this fucking guy? Jesus Christ. And then we were talking about your pack. We figured that fucker didn't even pick up the bar tab. Cheap bastard.
I think we should actually talk about Shane first, because when I was there, first Shane sent one of his underlings. He he didn't even believe in us enough to come himself. He sent just somebody and was like,
Oh,
"Hey, go check this
I
out."
sent someone still. That wasn't Shane didn't want to go.
I know.
But proceed.
Don't be like Shane. Come yourself is kind of where I was going with that. Because when Shane
Oh
did
yeah.
come himself, it changed.
So why do you want? So really, why do you want it? Why do you want to show up? To obviously, to learn what Matt and Shane just said, but you want to become the best lighting guys. Arguably, set yourself in front of everybody and destroy your competition through all these, not even basics. I think they're basics in our minds, but they're not basics. They're high level shit, whether it be talking about plants and trees, the art of tree lighting, and why you light them up specifically. But yeah, everybody's going to say up light, down light, do this, do that. Okay, who gives a shit? But do you even know the growth rate of the trees? Do you know, do they drop their leaves? Inherently, you're lighting up the landscape. Do you even understand what the landscape does and how you look at it in a wholly different light, if you will? There's so many in-depth topics that we go over that nobody's going to teach you. That's just a fact, right? I know most of the guys out there that teach lighting. I know most of the guys that are pretenders out there. All they are interested in is really selling product. And of course, like Matt said, we're interested in selling product too, but we're more interested in making you a top guy in your field, and you'll buy our product because it's the best, right? We don't put a gun to your head.
Yeah, I was going to say, well, about the buying the product, we also aren't trying to sell to 1,000 different contractors, right? That's not our model. We want to sell to guys that we like, and we want 50 of the badass guys. Now, if that turns into 100 of the badass guys, fine. But our goal has always been 50 lighting badasses. That's what we want to sell to. We don't want to sell to the guys just doing 20 light jobs here and there. Will we? Sure. We don't want to spend our time and energy on those people. It's not fun for us. It's fun when we get to see somebody in Ohio do some badass job because of what he's learned and what he's taken away from hanging out with us.
Well, and then when you look at something as simple as this, we've all, we've read books, and we've gone to other fucking seminars or listened to podcasts, and it's very typical when you pay somebody money and you're like, the guy goes, "Well, I can double your fucking income, double your fucking price." Jesus Christ, you should hang up or throw that fucking book out the window, right? We're gonna make the same statement. We're gonna double your income, we're gonna double your money, we're gonna double your close ratio, but it isn't by raising your prices. We're going to teach you that, of course, fundamentally, everybody wants to raise prices, but the way to make money is create value in your company, not to double your fucking prices. Whoever says that's a fucking dipshit. And you know who I'm talking about. You're a dipshit, right? When you say that, right? You want to double your fucking income, double your value, double the reasons why somebody wants to buy from you. That's what we teach you at the seminar. Create separation, right? Tenfold, right? You become known in your industry to be the lighting guy that people want you, right? That's what we teach you. Separation. So,
Separation. I would disagree about calling whoever it is you're referring to a dipshit.
well, I do, because I don't know. I
Same as
don't care.
me.
No, he is a dipshit, right? Because anybody can come up with that fucking deal. Double your I'm going to pay you money to have you tell me to make more money, raise my prices. He's a dipshit. He sells snake oil. Yeah,
Raise
anybody
your
that says that.
raise your fixture count, raise your price. And you have to back it with higher perceived value, better
Yeah,
presentation, better experience for the
right.
customer, better design,
Yep. Yep.
better
Yep.
fixtures.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Be able to
Yep.
do the actual
Yep.
maintenance. Be in business
Yep.
next year.
Yep. Value, 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 value. Right? And you go from perceived value, because there's a difference between perceived value and real value. So yeah, perception is fucking awesome. But how do I go from perception, right? Here's what I call it. I call it, how do you change your inside reality to match your outside perception? So your inside reality is, I'm the best fucking lighting guy there is. I can charge more because I'm better than my competition. Okay, that's inside reality. Now, how do I match the outside perception? Right? The outside perception is, well, you're just a guy running around a cyber fucking truck that says glow geeks. Yeah, you look like a geek to me. Who gives a shit? Right? Your perception, right, is you're a glow geeker. I get it. Instant perception. But now how do you match up, and how are you going to present yourself to where, yeah, I see you're $5,000 more than the next guy, but you haven't given me the value why I'm going to decide to spend more money. How do I change the inside reality to match, to match the outside perception to match my inside reality? So it isn't more, it's more than perception, right? It's reality, right? You better bring the value to the table. You better give me so many more reasons that your competition can't. Those are the things that we teach you that nobody else can. We're going to teach you that you're not going to lose a job if you pre-qualified them correctly. You imagine being able to slay your competition? You're going to be a fucking fifth-degree black belt and beat the shit out of your competitors. And you're going to want the competition to be on in your competitor in be in competition with you. You're going to relish. You're going to tell homeowners you don't need to get one bid. You need to get 5 bids because those 5 bids will justify my higher price. That's what we're going to fucking teach you. Right? You're not going to be the fucking lowest person. You don't mind being the highest fucking person to a degree, and you need that competition because they suck and you won't. They suck and you won't. Right? Bring it on, motherfuckers. That's what you're going to do. And that's what happens when you leave our seminars. Because we teach you what other people don't. Because they haven't done fucking jobs. These other wannabe fucking fake suits that pretend they're fucking lighting guys and they're not. It's
No,
disgusting, is what it is.
I don't think our audience is that. But I would also, say, Matt, I think you've probably done the same. Would you say it would be a true statement that for the last, I don't know, 10 years, 15 years, you've invested probably 10% in yourself annually, whether it's books,
Oh yeah,
coaching,
probably more than that.
yeah.
But I'm still waiting for the full investment to pay off, but I know it will, right? And
I
now
would
I
probably
spend on
have to-
coaching and product. When I
Yeah.
talked to Nate on the phone, he said, "Hey, you get to buy a demo. Buy a demo kit, come out here, I'll train you." I was like, "I'll buy 2." Right? Didn't it? What was it? 7, 8 grand? Is it a lot of money? Yeah, it can be for sure, right? But I mean, I still use both of those demo kits to this day, and I have more than that. Same thing with, I talk to guys that are, maybe they're out doing a demo or something, and Emma sells the proposals that she's made for you and me for $300, right? She makes them for you, branded and all that. There's guys that are literally like, well, can you just just send me it and I'll try to recreate it. I'm like, I tell them, if you would have told me when I was starting off to get to this proposal that it only cost me $300, I would have happily paid it because it's cost me thousands of dollars. We've taken Shane's, we've taken mine, we've kind of merged them together to build this amazing thing. And it's $300. If you can't see value in that, you're probably not going to see value in all the things we teach because we aren't. You can bootstrap to a degree, right? You can buy one demo kit and sell it, make more money to buy more, but you gotta be willing to spend. Like it's nothing in the grand scheme of things. Literally nothing.
Yeah. All right, fellas. That was a long 5 minutes. You guys
We can still go.
check out lightingtradeschool.com, right? You can see the advanced seminar on there. It's the 25th, 26th, 27th, flying the 24th. It's a 3-day seminar. If you guys are interested, fill out the application. Maybe it'll be on there by the time you look at it. And yeah, just prepare to come hang out and learn as much as possible in February. Any other parting thoughts there, Nate Dogg?
Yeah, look forward to meeting some of our audience and whoever wants to come out and participate. And then obviously we look forward to continuing sometime on a phone conversation, right? But yeah, no, it's all good.
I
Awesome.
love it. All right. We'll see you guys next week.
Later.
All right, man. Have a good week.